Hello, I am Kodili-nye. Once again, we are going to discuss several things. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on your time zone. Um, and we are going to talk about several issues on fisheries in Anambra State concerning the abundant fish pond by the government of Anambra State in two different locations in the state. First of all, I must acknowledge the new subscriber that has joined us. This is a requested video and vlog, and we also acknowledge the old subscribers. Thank you for staying with us. You have been our backbone. And returning subscriber, thank you for coming back to the family. You are highly welcome again. And before we commence, remember to subscribe to this channel. Remember to turn on notification button, like, comment. Because if you are commenting, it will help us to know that you are interested in what we are doing and the journey we have undertaken, the journey of success, and that you are in partnership with us to get this journey to a successful conclusion. And remember, the aim of this, one of the aim of this is also to project our homeland to be a livable and a prosperous homeland, and to make it a point of destination, not a departure point. That's one of the objective of this broadcast or channel. And another one is that we are entertaining, we are educative, and we're also informative. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you for always supporting us. And before we proceed, I also acknowledge those that are in many parts of the world that is also supporting us. This is a requested vlog, and thank you for staying patient. Thank you for being there, and kudos to you all. I am Kodili-nye. Stay tuned. And we are going to talk about fisheries. The fisheries, this business of fish production and fish products in Anambra State. But we are going to specifically based on our discussion today on the abandoned Adazi-Nnukwu and the Aguleri fish pond project. The abandoned Adazi-Nnukwu in Anocha local government area, and the Aguleri in Anambra East local government area fish pond project that was initiated by the former governor of the state, Sir Willie Obiano, in 2021. With a loan for over $1 billion from the central bank. And since that time, not much has been heard of it, because this was meant to launch Anambra State to fish sustenance, or fish attaining fish sustenance and self-reliant in feed production, considering that 95% of fishes eaten in Anambra State are brought from other states and even from outside Nigeria. And that's what the reason why the advisors to the governor, the former governor, the Anambra State government, advised him that if they can invest in fish, a lot in fish production, and also helping the indigenes also to set up fish ponds, that they can, in a year or two or three, they will be self-sufficient in feed production. But since that time, nothing has been heard of that. The last we heard about it was the visit of the State Assembly to the shabby work that have been done in spite of the money that have been released. So that's why we are doing this vlog, for to enlighten the people and to draw the attention of the government in order to pursue this business of fish production with the desired attention and desired seriousness. Because we cannot be talking about job creations and we are lying on a gold mine of wealth, and we are talking about unemployment, and we are going to discuss exclusively on this, and hopefully with your support we can always succeed, because we're already on the low road of great success, and I cannot thank you enough for this support. I am Kodili-Nye. I don't know what we are going to call this, but we are drawing the attention of the Anambra State government, led by Professor Chukwuma Soludo, about this abandonment of this important project that would have launched the state into the gold mine of one of the states or area that are are self-sufficient in fish production and fish business. Now, in 2021, the central bank released money for agricultural investment, and the state took a loan by then governor of Anambra State, Sir Willie Obiano, for the setting up of this fish project. And this was people held it as a very worthwhile project that will be able to launch the state into the great industry, fish production. And considering that Anambra State is littered with a lot of rivers, a lot of streams, a lot of lakes, and been disturbed by a lot of flood water and all those things, the Anambra State should be one of the leading lights in the feed production in Nigeria. But Anambra State was basically depending on fishes coming from Niger State and even Maiduguri. And some of these states, we have comparative advantage. We have the market, we have everything. But what is the problem? Do we have the leadership? Do we have the proper planning and direction? Do we have a timeline to bring about the conclusion or the attainment of self-reliance on fish production? The answer, you can see, is completely no. Over the years, we have lacked that. But now is the time, if we can actually change direction and put a stop to this, because basically we cannot be complaining there is unemployment, whereas we can always create a lot of employment. We cannot be saying that the protein are very expensive, but we have something that have been given to us to nurture, and we have the ability to create it and to create businesses and create industries. So now we are going to talk about using the Adazi-Nnukwu fish pond project, the abandoned Adazi-Nnukwu fish pond project. We are going to discuss exclusively on that, and I will also love to hear from you. I would love to hear your comments concerning this. Your comment will be much appreciated. So continuing, I am Kodili-Nye. You can see that Anambra State is littered with water. You can see all everywhere water. See bridges on top of the water. So, but that's not what we are discussing, but we are trying to draw your attention about the God-given potentials for this great state of Anambra State. And we are going to explore on that, and how that can be used for this great project. There's abandoned project, and we are going to talk about that. And you can see that the state can actually be sufficient in fish production and other agro businesses, which we have the comparative advantage. Anambra might not have the land mass, but it can also produce billions of fish to supply to Nigerian and the world market. And stay tuned as we continue on this analysis. So this is the pond site for construction of 300 fish pond in Adazi-Nnukwu in Anocha local government area by the former governor of Anambra State. This Sawili Obiano. That's during almost a year ago, when the House of Assembly visited the site. You can see it's a vast land, supposed to have 300 fish ponds and around 50 hostels and generating room and processing rooms and a lot of things. You can see that's the video of that area. You can see that's the video of the area. That's the area. It was awarded to a construction company. I will give you much details on that before we proceed on our discussion. These are the House committee members inspecting the work as part of their oversight function. And that's the site in Adazi-Nnukwu, in Anocha local government area of Anambra State. The fish pond project, with other ancestry facilities. That's the consultant you can see the area. So basically that's what is going on there. Let's look at another of the video. That's the place. That's the place. That's the place. You can see. That's the place. That was a year ago. We want to bring the attention that Anambra State is great, is blessed, but what he needed is a leader that lead from the front. Anytime the governor or any of this political leadership, not only on the state level, but even on the town and community levels, when they are determined to change the narrative, the state will be far better off, and the state will be a livable and a prosperous homeland. And it will be a land of destination and not a departure area. So you can see, you can just have a look, have a glimpse of what I'm talking about. These are ponds supposed to be 300 in number, and we are going to come to that. So because for us to understand what we are going to discuss, and you can always bring your own idea and suggestions, which is will be acknowledged also. That's Adazi-Nnukwu, the community in question. This is near the St. Andrews and part of St. Andrews in Adazi-Nnukwu. You can see that's St. Andrews area of the town. So that's St. Andrew area of the town. It's quite a small town, but it has capacity to produce fish. It can produce the fish that can actually, that Anambra State as a whole can actually be sufficient. It can make Anambra State sufficient in fish production just in the little town of Adazi-Nnukwu. I will tell you how. That's Adazi-Nnukwu. This is St. Andrews area. You can see that's not bad. It's, you can see that's Adazi-Nnukwu. Okay, that's Adazi-Nnukwu. That's Adazi-Nnukwu. Not bad. Okay. So that's Adazi-Nnukwu. These are fish ponds. I'm just trying to draw your attention to fish business and what can be achieved. And there's fish ponds. Okay. These are fish ponds. I am currently NYE. The little town of Adazi-Nnukwu in Anocha local government can actually produce enough fish for Anambra State. It can produce billions of fishes in Anambra State. It can on its own produce fishes if the government of Anambra State is determined to accomplish or to solve any problem or solve this fish crisis in the state, the high cost of fishes in the state. That's why we are trying to draw your attention, to draw the governor of Anambra State attention, that it's always good to see to the fulfillment of one or solving one problem. Because once you solve one problem, another person can solve the others, or you can solve many problems. Fish production is something that can be achieved if the necessary framework is put in place, if people are determined for that. So we are going to discuss further on this. I am Kodili-nye. Please subscribe, and stay tuned and as we continue on this. Welcome back. I am Kodili-nye. We are talking about Adazi-Nnukwu fish production. Sorry, excuse me. We are talking about the fisheries in Anambra State, and using a little town of Adazi-Nnukwu in Anocha local government area, the abandoned fish pond project in Anambra State, both in Adazi-Nnukwu and in Aguleri. So let us just read a little thing about what was reported about this fish project in these both communities. But after we come back and use Adazi-Nnukwu alone to see what can be accomplished in this state. In 2022, there was a visit of Anambra State House of Assembly. The Anambra State House of Assembly Committee on Economic Planning, Sustainable Development, and donor agencies have expressed worry over the poor level of work done by contractors handling the construction of 600 fish ponds, hostel blocks, and farmhouses in Aguleri, in Anambra East local government area of Anambra State, and Adazi-Nnukwu in Anaucha local government area of Anambra State. To this end, the committee says that it may be inviting the then commissioner for agriculture, Mr. Nnamdi Onukwuba, to appear before the State House to explain how his ministry expanded the 1.5 billion naira agricultural loan received from the Central Bank of Nigeria in 2020. The chairman of the committee, Mr. Ebere Ejiofor, stated this shortly after he led other members of the committee to oversight some of the projects awarded by the state government. Our correspondent reports that the law makes the lawmakers threaten to call for the revocation of the contracts following the slow pace and the quality of work done in the two communities visited. The Central Bank of Nigeria launched guidelines for the regulation of private sector-led accelerated agricultural development scheme, PADS, in order to boost private sector stable food production, industrial raw materials, and support food security, job creation, and economic diversification in the country in 2020. The Apex Bank said in the bid to address food security and youth unemployment challenges across the country, the Accelerated Agricultural Development Scheme aids is to engage 370,000 youths in Nigeria in agricultural production and the collaboration with state governments. In line with this, the Anambra State government, under the then leadership of Governor Willie Obiano, applied and collected 1.5 billion naira for the sole purpose of fish and rice farming in some local government areas across the 3 senatorial zones of Anambra State. Contracts were awarded through the State Ministry of Agriculture for the construction of 300 fish ponds in Adazi-Nnukwu in Anocha local government area to the tune of 75,250,000 naira, and another 300 fish pond in Aguleri in Anambra East local government of Anambra State to the same amount of 75,250,000 naira. Contract was also awarded for the construction of 50-bed capacity hostel, each in Aguleri and in Adazi-Nnukwu communities to the tune of 113,505,000 naira. Farmhouses, entrance gates, perimeter fencing, and generator houses was also awarded for the two communities, with a total amount of 122,179,285 kobo. A document made available to the House Committee by the Ministry of Agriculture also shows that 41,763,000 naira was also awarded for the construction of industrial boreholes to serve the two fish farm ponds. As part of its responsibility, the House Committee on on Economic Planning (SDG) and donor agencies decided to embark on oversight function to ascertain the level and the quality of work done on the project, which involved taxpayers' money. The chairman of the committee, Mr. Ejiofor Ebere Leonard, member representing Aniocha Constituency 1, after visiting the project sites, expressed displeasure over the work on the ground, which he said was not commensurate with the amount so far released to the farms. He regretted that the sum of 326,136,603 naira has been paid to the contractors out of 510,320,285 naira being total sum of the projects in Aguleri and Adazi-Nnukwu. This is a total failure. There is nothing to show that the amount of money has been released. Look at Adazi-Nnukwu site. Only 150 fish ponds have been done, and it's not properly done. The work is not durable. They are using red mud to plaster walls of the generating house, while that of Aguleri 50-bed hostel is still at foundation, and yet millions of naira has been released as claimed by the Commissioner of Agriculture. I think we will invite him to come and explain how such amount will be released with little or nothing to show on ground. Another member of the committee, Mr. Emmanuel Nwafo, former member representing Orumba South constituency, described the quality of work as substandard and called for the revocation of the contracts, which he said was for the interests of the masses. From what we have on papers, they said 50%, 40% of the work have been completed. But what we are seeing here, the 300-bed capacity hostel is still under the ground. They have not even come to the DPC level. So I believe that the Commissioner for Agriculture should be called to order so that he can answer some certain questions. We require the Commissioner to give us details of what have been going on. This project is supposed to have being handed over to the people of Anambra State, but look at where we are. So let's analyze on this as well. I am still Kodili-Nye. You have had a little report about the fish business in Anambra State, the fish pond project, the abandoned fish pond project in Aguleri and Adazi-Nnukwu, both communities in Anambra State. I think we will continue talking about, reading about the content of this news. In an interview, the managing director, Anambra State Fisheries and Aquaculture Development Agency, FAGDA, Mr. Emeka Ilogalo, described the project as life-saving and a well-thought-out government project, but however expressed worry over the delay in the completion of the youth-friendly initiative. According to him, FAGDA is supposed to be the consultant to this project. FAGDA made the concept design and structuring of the project, and according to the guideline of the CBN, the project management team was set up by His Excellency, the then governor of Anambra State, Sawili Obiano, and all the work was done. And we're supposed to have finished, but at the moment, the Ministry of Agriculture, Honorable Commissioner, and Permanent Secretary are in the best position to provide details on why this project is still at this stage. Our correspondent spoke with Mr. Chukwudi Okosie, the site supervisor for Civil Crest Engineering Services Limited, one of the contractors handling the construction of the fish pond in Aguleri, farmhouses, entrance gates, fencing and generator houses in Adazi-Nnukwu and Aguleri, who said, though he don't have the details of the amount so far released, the project will be delivered in the next 4 months of that year. That's 2022. I don't actually have details for the amount of money that have been released, so I can't compare if work on the ground is up to that, to the money. But I believe that we have been doing well. Our challenges are during the rainy season. The road was too bad that sometimes we get stuck. To come down here become a problem. At times we won't even do any work. Getting materials and bringing workers here is the main challenge we have. Secondly, the nature of this place. The floor was so bad that we could not get materials through, especially at the back where we needed to put fence. Contract was also awarded for the provision of 2 75 kVA power generating sets for the 2 fish ponds to the communities to the tune of 23 million naira. I am Kodili-nye. Thank you for staying tuned with what we are discussing. We are discussing about the fisheries, the abandoned fish pond project in Aguleri and Adazi-Nnukwu, both communities in Anambra State. So now, you see, any government that is determined to bring about change will definitely succeed. But any government that want to do just for the sake of trying to do will not succeed. The past governor of Anambra State, Sir Willie Obiano, was advised on what to do to attain fish self-sufficient in fish production or security or food security on fish. And he liked the idea, but he wasn't that moved with that great passion. He hasn't got the vision, he hasn't got the passion, but because he was advised, he was doing it haphazardly. That's why he wasn't much interested in bringing it to completion. This project should not take more than 6 months to accomplish because the fund was released by the central bank for the sole purpose of this project. But you can see since last year, nothing has heard about this project, and the place cannot produce any fish, and the people are still unemployed, no production going on, and we're still crying about unemployment, and the youths cannot have jobs because there is nothing for them to do. But this industry alone, let me give you Adazi-Nnukwu in Anocha local government, the one in Adazi-Nnukwu. They are meant to build 300 fish ponds for Adazi-Nnukwu site. So, and 50 hostel for where the workers will live, and storehouses. They need to fence it. They need to provide generating sets to power the place, and the industrial boreholes and other things. But I tell you, let's use that 300 fish ponds is to produce 1,000 fish in a cycle of between 1 to 6 months. So they will be producing 300,000 fishes. So now, I remember the business will involve also processing of the fish, drying, smoking, and packaging of the fish, meaning that it will be an industry there. And also fish feed production will be also near there as well. So this would have been a great employment opportunity for this community and for Anambra State. But the reverse is the case because the money was taken, some of the money was taken, but the job was not actually being completed. Up to now, nobody hears what about Anambra is still suffering from fish shortage, and the fishes are very expensive in Anambra State because there is no incentive to produce more fish and a very cheap level, cheap prices for the people. So now, Let me also turn to this community, Adazi-Nnukwu. Adazi-Nnukwu can, on their community, if they have people that are very, very passionate about development. If your PG, President General, is passionate and the community leaders are passionate about the opportunities that inherent in fish production. If the government of Anambra State that was led previously by Willie Obiano was dilly-dallying on this and delaying it, can't you on your own initiate something even bigger than what the government is doing? Can the community build between 1,000 to 2,000 fish ponds? 1,000 fish ponds will actually, if each pond is meant to contain at least 1,000 fishes and more, will be giving you 1 million fishes. So if the government finally wake up from their sleep, deep sleep, concerning their own 300, that one will be added to that, which will make it 1,300,000 fishes being produced in Adazi-Nnukwu. Think about the industry. Think about the great development this will create in that community. Think about the employment opportunities. Think about the economic expansion that it will bring to this community. Because this community on its own can actually produce enough fish to feed the whole markets in Anambra State. Anambra State might be needing something like between 10 billion fishes. Between 5 to 10 billion fishes. So on that, Adazi-Nnukwu can actually produce that if necessary in a year. They can actually produce that if the community is determined. Even if the government are not determined to solve any problem, the community can do that by the way of Akuluno. They can gather themselves to invest on that, and they can form a cooperative to do that, and they will actually do a mega fish production site and fish industry, where also they will also be harvesting the fish oil for other things as well. They will be having smoked fish. They will be having dry fish. They will also have a cold room for fresh fish, and all sorts of industries will actually start to be enveloping in that area. It can be called Adazi-Nnukwu fish industry, fish industries. It can be called that. So turning to the Anambra State Governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, the community of Adazi-Nnukwu wants you to help. The Anambra wants you to help. Now that you are talking about industry, building industry, don't you think a big industry like fish industry in Adazi-Nnukwu can employ hundreds of people or thousands of people? Don't you think so? Can we now have a timeline or say, let's solve the fish needs of the state? Can we now project and said within 2 years, let's now be that all the fishes that are being consumed in the state are produced in the state? Why can't we use Adazi-Nnukwu or the Aguleri site also to produce all the fishes we need in the state? And also other investment individuals, private concerns are doing. Why can't we solve this problem? Building in Adazi-Nnukwu 1,000 to 10,000 fish ponds will actually go a long way in solving this problem. So can we solve a problem? Because so that we can say during the time of Professor Soludo that Anambra used to import fish from across the world, or get fish from all the states like Niger State and Borno State. So now that the reverse is the case, that Anambra is sending fishes to the north. Anambra is sending fishes to most of the world, exporting fishes, dry fishes, a lot of smoked fish everywhere, grinded fish, fish oils, a lot of things. Can't it be done? will change the narrative. In 2 years, I tell you, you can actually succeed in this. The state can be can have food security on fish production. It can actually develop a big industry. It's done in Egypt. It's done in many countries. In Adazi-Nnukwu alone, they can produce billions of fishes in a year if the government actually utilize the money they get from the central bank. So talk less of other areas in Anambra State. So there are many, many areas, but I'm just using Adazi-Nnukwu as a case study of having a target of at least producing 1 million or 2 million fishes every 4 months or 6 months. So that one will go a long way in helping to mitigate the challenges and problems of fish scarcity and the fish issues in the state. So time has come that we must change the narrative. If we are talking about industry, this can create several industries. Fish feed mills industry, fish processing, and the cold rooms, so many cold rooms. And the solar energy can be provided for all these things. So many things. Think about the housing, the hostels, think a lot of things, the transportation, and a lot of things. A lot of investors coming in there. So why can't we solve one problem? So I do believe, Soludo, you can look at this. This is part of the industries. When we are talking about our homeland becoming livable and prosperous, this is one of the areas we have to look at. And this is the industries that we can easily set up, which doesn't require so much money, but it required determined investor, determined government to use it to solve a problem, the problem that that is inherent in the state. So let's think about that. Let's think about how we can improve the state. So making the state a destination, not a departure launch, will be it will be achieved by the determined governor who have a timeline, who have vision and passion burning in him that he must succeed in this and nothing more and nothing less. Let's think about fish, everywhere fish. Let's flood the state with fishes. We are so blessed that we can have as many fishes we want. If we want 10 billion fishes, we can produce it in the state. So we can produce it. So let's look at this industry of fish production. I know there are a lot of private concerns in fish industries in the state. Even in that others, there are a lot of other companies like Chief Nwata has also a fish industry at Amolu of Adazi. And there are other people investing in fish in Anambra State. They are in Osamala, you have the fish resort there. You have a lot of fish business in the state. But we have not worked out a flame line whereby we have like a center where we produce fish in billions. And also at a price that can be affordable to the people of the state. And to also, as we have also international passenger and cargo airport, we can also make it a way that we can be exporting this fish through our cargo, through airport cargo, through our airport, the Chinua Achebe International Passenger and Cargo Airport. We can also supply the fish locally. We can supply it in Anambra State at a very reduced price. We can also blend some of this fish in powdered form to be like crayfish. We can use it to make a lot of things. We can also process the fish oils for medical purposes and for other things. There are a lot of things we can use it for. We can also set up food processing plants nearby this industry, like making like cassava flakes with fish, like become like all those needles or spaghettis. We can also do that. These are industries that can also be achieved. This can also help the state to get a lot of billions of money instead of rushing to Abuja looking for allocation. This fish alone can actually, if you say that the government is producing 1 billion fish and the government is making each of these fishes 2 naira from it. So 2 naira from it is 2 billion. If we produce 2 billion fishes and the government is just making 2 naira from one fish, or the government is making 100 naira from one fish. If government is making 1 naira from one fish and they produce 1 billion fish, that's a lot. That's a lot. So 100 times 1 billion is 100 billion. So 1 billion fish times 100 is 100 billion. That's why industries should be our determined effort. We can't be also waiting for foreign investors only. There are local industry that we can help to nurture. The government can lead by example by going to Adazi-Nnukwu and building this fish pond. Not just building 300, but getting it to 1,000 or 5,000 fish ponds and more. And going to Aguleri also and many other places with a mandate that we need 10 billion fishes that can be produced in every cycle. Every 6 months, we have 10 billion fishes. So, and the processed fish. So in a year, we'll be having billions of fishes. And they will have a place that all these fishes will be processed in that area and be brought in for the local markets and for export. Those that will be packaged for the export can be done also. So I am Kodili-Nye. I don't know where you're watching this from. I don't know if you have subscribed to this channel, but what is your opinion? What is your view concerning this? Do you think Soludo can change the narrative in food production, especially on fishery in Anambra State? Do you think Soludo can solve the challenges of fish security or food security in Anambra State? Do you think he can solve that? Do you think Anambra State can attain self-sufficiency in fish production? So you need to comment, you need to like, you need to air your view. Join in this discussion. Let's draw the attention of the Anambra State government. Let's draw the attention of Soludo to this great industry. This industry is a win-win situation for the state. It can change everything for us. It can actually reduce unemployment. The state can make a lot of internally generated revenue from this. We are talking about billions. We are talking about billions. We are talking about infrastructure. The roads will be built in that area. Loads of things. Electricity, so many things. People will be happy. So think about that. Let's be a part of growth, economic growth, and economic consistency or sustainability. Let us be people that are problem solvers. Let us form a pressure group to draw the government, because the more we are hammering on this, especially this abandoned project, this project that nobody is hearing from, that the other government of Anambra State, led by Sir Willie Obiano, started it. Why can't we now, a person that is determined said, okay, he started it, but he wasn't now determined about it because he was just doing it for the sake of doing it. The money was given to it because the money is not a problem. The central bank gave out the money. But the problem is implementation, because the person in charge is not determined. He's not passionate about it. He doesn't want to solve any problem. He doesn't even know the number of fishes that are being consumed in the state. So let's do some of this math. I like to work with figures. Suppose in Anambra State is 15 million people. And let's say that 10 million require fish. And they require something like at least 1 fish a day. So, meaning that 1 fish a day to 10 million people is 7 times 10, one fish a day to 10 million people is 10 million fishes a day. So in 7 days is 70 million fishes. So that's for 7 days. So 70 for 1 month is 70 times 4. So you are having something of the nature of 280 million. So 280 million times, if you times it by 12, that's 10 of it will be 200 and something billion. So you are talking about 200 and something or 300 billion fishes. So even if we can produce half of it, I think the state will be better off. Do the figure, one person out of 10 million consuming fish every day. One fish for one person. Let's just put it like that. It's 10 million. So 10 million fishes are required almost every day. But remember, we don't eat that so much of fish because most of the time the fish are very expensive. It's not affordable. But in the case that it become affordable, that the people can afford it and they are eating one a day or 2 in a week, 2 fishes in a week. So if you make it 2 fishes in a week, it's still a good number. So you can see, or 2 or 1 fish a week. So make it 4 fish in a month. Yeah, something like 1 fish or 2 fish in a week. 2 fish in a week, still, if you times it by 10 million people, is 20 million. So 20 million times 4, it gives you 80 million for a month. So it's still a huge number. So there are potentials for fish industry. If you go to marine fish market in Onitsha, you can see that most of the truck loads of these fishes are coming from a place called Bio or something, Baro in Niger State. And some are coming from all the way from Borno State. So you can see that most of them are coming from, not from the state, from outside the state. And some also are coming from Delta State. So that's why we need to invest in this fish. We need to make sure that this investment, this industry is, can be accelerated with a timeline of 2 years to produce enough for the local market and for export. So even if we decide not to export, but to channel on Nigerian market alone will give us billions of naira to the pocket of the government as internally generated revenue in partnership with the local investors or local communities. So let's think about that now that Soludo is saying that he's changing gear in 2024. Let it be part of the things we'll be discussing. Let the communities take over these things. Let them begin to do something. Even if the government is failing, we can all be failing. We must do something. We must turn the narrative. Our homeland has been blessed as a place of milk and honey. So fish is part of the thing that will bring about tremendous wealth. The homeland must be prosperous and it must be livable. And remember, we did discuss fish production in Anambra State, the fate of the abandoned fish pond project in Aguleri, in Anambra East, and in Adazi-Nnukwu, in Anocha local government of Anambra State. Thank you very much for having the patience to listen. Thank you for your support. I am Kodili-Nye. Remember to subscribe. Remember to subscribe. Remember to subscribe. Remember to share to your friends, to the group, to the everywhere. Share this, and with you on our side, we will continue marching on this success road, the road of success, and in partnership with you, we are going to make it. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video. God bless you and bye.